All right, and we're back. Scam Podcast, episode 16, 17? Something like that.
Who's counting?
Yeah, who's counting? Thank you for everybody that tuned in over the weekend for our Picks podcast and our Thursday episode. Schedule's going to be a little dicey going forward for the next at least week or two. Malcolm started a new job, so we're trying to adjust to the schedule here, but you will be getting at least 2 a week. Just the days will be a little variable. One for the weekend, one during the week for sure. Probably Sundays and Fridays.
Yep.
We'll figure it out as it goes on, and we'll keep you updated on the Instagram and the Twitter if you follow us, guys. Thank you for everybody that did go and follow at Scam_podcast on Twitter and Instagram. If you're watching this now, like, share, subscribe. Click the little subscribe button in the bottom. It's a big favor to us, and you get up to date whenever a new video comes out. Let's see, what's going on with you? You said you started a new job. How's that going?
It's fucking shitty, but it's temporary.
Yeah.
It's overnight.
Yeah.
It's really not bad. It's actually really fucking easy for the most part. It's just, everything's compounded when it's overnight. And we're working in this like national park, and it's almost got killed by a fucking elk last night.
Mm-hmm.
It was brutal.
How did that? You texted that to me, but how did that almost happen? You said you almost got trucked by an elk.
Yeah, we're like on the road, and we're walking, and like literally 10 feet, just 3 of them, poof. And like when they're right up on you, I mean, they're fucking, they're fucking big.
They're huge. All right, so I got not a funny story, but an elk story. I was staying I was driving from California to Ohio for a job, and in the middle it's like Montana, and they had me stay in some fucking piece of shit motel like while I was driving, And the company
sounds
has
fitting.
me, yeah. So the company books the hotel for me, and I show up, and they're like, "Oh, your room's not ready yet. You need like an hour." So I was like, "All right, no problem." I'm like, "Is there somewhere to eat around here?" And they said, "No." So
what the fuck do you eat?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
They'd be like, you.
Yeah, no kidding. But there's like if you're looking for a vending machine, there's one in the state park right here. Right outside, like a mile down the road. So I'm like, all right, is that what you guys eat for dinner? Like that vending machine? Like,
Yeah.
it was legit. Like it was a gas station in the motel. It was on the side of the interstate. You know what I mean? This isn't a town. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I got an hour to kill. So I go to this little state park. And it's snowing. There's snow all over the ground. And I'm standing there or whatever. And I'm walking to like the restroom area where there's a vending machine. And I look down and I see what looks like tennis rackets in the ground, right? But they're like, it's like almost like the
snowshoes?
Like snowshoes, but on the outside, the snowshoes are 2 big like imprints on the outside of the snowshoe. So I'm like, the fuck is that? Like, is someone using snowshoes and then like dragging a body? I don't know. It was weird. It was just weird, a weird design.
It's like claw marks.
It's what it looked like, yeah. So I look up though, like I'm looking up at like a trail of fucking candy. I'm looking up as it goes, and probably 40 feet from me, standing is a fucking elk or a moose, and it's just the size of an SUV. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just,
I was picturing that guy from like No Country for Old Men.
yeah, with the holding the oxygen thing,
the cattle fucking thing.
But it's just crazy because I'm looking at it, and we're like, I'm looking at it straight, and I have to look up, and it's just massive. And I'm like, if that thing wanted to just truck me right now, I have nothing. I don't know what I'd do. I'd just die. You know what I mean? Like,
yo,
just over and kill me.
You should. Did you see that fucking bear kill that elk in Yellowstone?
No, I did not.
Oh,
we can't do video. We can't do video today because of the audio thing we're using.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but we'll save that for Friday because I do want to see that. Is it brutal?
The fucking elk must have been hurt. It was like going through a river, and it was like going really fucking slow, and it knew that. I don't know if it had to have known that bear was behind it.
Yeah.
So the bear like sees it, and he just fucking beelines it through the water. He just fucking gets him, and then like the last ditch second, the fucking the bull elk tries to turn around and like headbutt it, and then nah, dude, he just boom started biting its backstrap while it was alive, and it
pull
took
that up. I wonder if that was at Yellowstone Park
in Yellowstone River.
That's crazy.
It fucking only took about 30 seconds, and then the fucking thing was just done. It was a grizzly.
I was gonna say it must have been a big ass bear to take an elk down like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, enough fucking elk talk.
Yeah, sound like fucking Rogan.
We're doing a little short one today. Exactly. We're doing a short one today, so let's move on to. We have a couple things I wanted to talk about. First thing is, did you hear the story about about LeBron James?
What, with the MVP?
No. Oh, well, I mean that is a story, but that's not the story I was talking about. About people are always wondering, like, how's that guy so good? You know, like what does he do that makes him so good? And I think we found the answer here. And
What is
I
he?
want you to know,
Adrenochrome?
hey, it's not that far off. So
Oh, yeah.
James just an athlete? Well, I believe this expose, we're going to take a little dive into what I believe is quite frightening. Now, here you're going to see this chalk ritual toss, what the sports world calls it a chalk toss, but it's simply a disguise for what he's really doing, a high-level conjuring, a spell, an incantation from this Illuminati wizard where he's summoning demons.
Oh, yeah.
Up demons before every game. Plain and simple. Really take
Plain
a look
simple.
at these
Yeah.
chalk tosses.
It's not the 6'8", 280 frame.
nope. Conjuring up demons, as seen here.
Baphomet style dragon demons appear. Is LeBron
Oh,
James
my
just
God.
an athlete? Well,
So
That
got to the
voice,
bottom of
too,
it.
is like fucking, classic, like fucking psychic. Yo, you ever seen that video of the guy that says he's psychic? It's like some overseas, like Eastern European shit. And it's like I don't know if it's like a news report or something, but it's like it's like a psychic and then like an official. I don't know if he's like of the government or whatever. And he goes, and it's like all subtitled. And he goes, this guy's like saying he's a psychic, and he goes, "Oh yeah," and he asked him a question, and it was like oh, he didn't even ask him a question. He goes, "Oh, you're a psychic," and just slaps the shit out of him. He goes,
Yeah. I've seen that. Guess he wasn't a very good psychic.
Yeah. He's like, "See, this guy's a fraud, and you're a psycho."
So next up, I got or first of all, so what do you think? Do you think it's possible LeBron is
I'm all in, dude. I'm fucking I'm Dan Aykroyd style, fucking Sasquatch, aliens, fucking Illuminati.
Why not?
And in these trying times, just like throughout any point in history, I mean, what do? You got to make shit up, dude.
Yeah.
I'm fucking praying to a rain god at night now. So.
Hey, whatever works, So sticking with sports for just a second. I mean, that's not really like a breaking news story, but I saw something interesting over the weekend, and I talked to the creator of this little news story, and he said it was okay to talk about in the podcast. So there's this website. It's called Tarps Off Hockey. Give them a little look if you're a hockey fan. They also have a Twitter page, Tarps Off Hockey. And they had tarps off. Take the tarp off. I don't know. But they had a little back and forth with a Boston Bruins beat writer who works for CLNS, which is like a sports station or something. And he's a verified Twitter account. And this is what he said. Friday, this is him on September 9th. Friday is 19 years since bin Laden attacked our country. And while he deserves to rot in hell, at real Donald Trump deserves it more.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So he said, even though bin Laden, deserves to rot in hell, Donald Trump deserves to do it more. So this hockey website, basically look at this clown. Like, this is a credentialed writer. Are you kidding me? For you know what I mean? Like, this guy's in NHL circles. He gets, stories out, and he's saying that the president is just like a war criminal equal to bin Laden, So,
oh my God, bro.
Yeah. So anyway, so this happens, and then the guy, so he puts the story out about like calling this guy out, right? And then
he's found out about LeBron.
Well, listen, that dude, Jimmy Murphy, the guy that did that tweet about Trump and bin Laden, saw the news story and just came back at this guy, took it to 1 million. So this is his Twitter DMs, right? And he says, "This is the writer, Jimmy Murphy, who said the thing about bin Laden and Trump. Fuck you, you coward. Come meet me anywhere and say that to my face. My best friend died in the South Tower. I will destroy you. Fuck you. I will literally end you. Tell me where to meet you. Tell me where to meet you, you fucking coward. You have no idea what you're talking about and how much I'll make your life suck from now on, you piece of shit."
People are losing their fucking mind.
come meet me tomorrow, tough guy. He goes, you compared the president to a terrorist. Let's box for charity, you coward. And he goes, I seriously am going to kick your ass. My friend can film it with my 10-knuckle army. Let's do it, you pussy. And then he said something about you need to lay off the drinking or whatever. And he said, I can't wait to beat the shit out of you. I don't drink, dipshit. I'm sober a year now. Wrong again. So he completely lost it.
Yeah, I'm sober a year now. So you are a drinker. And it was a problem.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't be surprised if old Jimmy O.
Everybody
Murphy,
knows when an addict relapses, the first thing they do is admit to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not drunk. Wrong again. Like
Yeah.
been sober a year now.
People are just losing their shit.
I
You
know.
ever see that one on Twitter with that like that super jacked like black cop or whatever? And people are like, he's like, people are saying, they're gonna beat some cops' ass, blah blah blah. And he's like, basically like try me.
Yeah.
And I guess he got a couple DMs from people that were like, yo, I'll try you.
Yeah.
like professional
Set
fighters.
it up. Yeah.
Yeah, had to
So-
backtrack.
So you know what's funny is that guy, his daughter ended up like this is like a deep cut, but that guy's daughter ended up like going online on Twitter or something and be like, yeah, my dad's a piece of shit. Fuck him. Subscribe to my OnlyFans. And she like blows dude on the fucking OnlyFans. Yeah. Like hates her dad. Yeah. It's so funny. It's so funny you brought that up because I just saw something about that the other day.
Yeah, because it came out a long time ago. Like
Yeah, it was. It was.
and then it like came back around.
It was during the Michael Brown thing. It was like 2017 or whatever.
Oh, that's that old?
It's that old. Yeah.
See, that's what's crazy about the internet, dude. Like you can make people upset, and it's just like it could be something that was years ago.
Exactly. And all of a
Dude.
sudden it just comes back around.
Rachel fucking that all that fucking propaganda news. Rachel Maddow, she fucking did some shit about the immigration shit and the kids in cages. Put some pictures on MSNBC, and oh yeah, it's pictures from Obama era fucking.
Of course.
Yeah, they just lied, dude.
Yeah,
It's so-
that's. I mean, that's just how it goes. That's typical fucking bullshit. You never know what's real, what's not anymore, especially with fucking pictures. Speaking of that, like they had, I don't know if you saw, last night was the Emmys. They did like all online, but New York Post posted this picture, and it's Zendaya accepting her award, and the headline is "Biggest Upset," and then quotations: Zendaya wins Emmys 2020 over Jennifer Aniston, right? Because it was an upset, because Jennifer Aniston was the favorite. If you scroll through, this was the biggest thing trending today on Twitter. If you scroll through, it was just people saying, "What are you talking about? Nobody's upset about this." Like, and like literally, like no one's upset. This is a verified account. It's like, what are you talking about? No one's upset. And it's like, how have you worked for multiple news outlets and not know the definition of this? Like, what are you doing? And like, you just scroll through. It's just all these people. Like,
Who's Zendaya?
all right. So she was in that show. What's the name of the show she won the Emmy for? With like all the high school kids doing drugs and fucking each other.
Oh, I watched a couple episodes of
It was
that.
good too. I can't remember the
Is
name
it-
of it off the top of my head.
There's a female in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the main character is Zendaya. She's also in Spider-Man. She plays Mary Jane in the new Spider-Man movie.
Euphoria?
Euphoria. That's it. Yeah. That's what she won for last night. But yeah, I was just like, people were losing their shit. Like, oh, typical fucking bullshit. The people think
Have
we're
you
upset.
watched that show?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's good. I didn't
pretty-
finish it though. I didn't finish it because I got behind.
It's
and it was
pretty
like
tripped out. That dude's like trans. And he's like banging older men. And it's just
Yeah.
like, ooh.
The one dude's like selling ecstasy and like,
Yeah.
It's a good show. It's a good show. I think that was the first time though that I was like, all right, this might be for a younger audience than me. You know what I mean? I was like,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. You know what I mean? Like this feels weird watching these 18-year-olds fucking each other. So, all right. So another thing, I don't know if you saw this whole thing about Costco. This is
No,
like there's some weird fucking news stories this past week. There's a lot for us to talk about. But I'm gonna have to save some of it for the next episode because we're a little short on time this week.
Well, the problem is I got all this fucking downtime at this job, right? But I'm
Yeah.
in this fucking national forest and there's no service.
service. Yeah, that
God
stinks.
damn it.
So are you familiar with like Costco? They have those hot dogs and soda combo. It's like $1.50.
Yeah.
Okay, so that whole thing is like how cheap they are for how much food you get. There's big ass hot dogs. Well, Costco's having a little like financial trouble, and this was in a fucking news article where they're talking about all right. So the Costco president Craig Jelinek, was complaining to the founder, Jim Senegal, that their warehouse business was losing money on their famously cheap $1.50 hot dog and soda package. Senegal listened. So this is the founder. He's sitting there listening, saying like, "We're losing a ton of money. We can't afford this anymore." He's sitting there, listened, nodded, and then did his best to make his take on the situation perfectly clear. This was his quote: "If you raise the price of those fucking hot dogs, I will kill you. Figure it out."
No, it's not.
I swear to God. I swear to God. I swear to God. I mean,
No, it's not. It's not the 50-gallon drum of mayo for $5.
yeah.
It's not that. It's not.
So
that.
just to show you, I'm not bullshitting. If you raise the price of the fucking hot dog, I will kill you. Figure it out. So
Wait, did he say effing or fucking?
it says effing in the quote, but
Yeah.
you know what he said.
You know he said fucking.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, this guy's got all the way to the top of Costco fucking using effing. Get the fuck
yeah.
out of here.
So another
I'm
thing,
sorry. I just can't. That quote is too much.
could you imagine being in like, you're like a legit businessman. You're like the CEO.
Could you
of
imagine if he
fucking-
actually killed him?
Told you have to lower those hot dog prices. Yeah.
Fucking choking him, shoving a hot dog down his mouth.
How do you like that?
Yeah.
How do you like that?
Little too expensive now, bitch.
I mean, he did give them fair warning. I don't know what state
Yeah.
they're in. In some states,
Yeah. It's
give
like,
them
are
that
you willing to pay the price of your life? Like,
it's like that. Speaking of going back to No Country for Old Men, it's like, how much have you lost on a hot dog? Does it have to lose your life over?
you raise the price of that fucking hot dog. That's great, dude.
Hey, man, it's true though. They can't be making any money off that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so why is he so hell bent on keeping it $1.50?
It reminds me of that old. I don't know if you ever watched like Louis Black stand up. He had this like whole bit about he's like an IHOP and he heard this chick go, if it wasn't for my horse, I wouldn't have spent that extra year in college. And he's just like, if you think about it too long, your head's gonna explode. It's like that seems like one of those quotes. Just like, Jesus Christ.
Well, I don't think this year can get any weirder, man. It's just every fucking week. It's just something. It's something.
Just when you think it can, it does.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to speak on something that we talked about a few episodes ago. So that video you sent me of the snake going down the person's mouth, and then we saw that picture of the snake toilet seat incident where the guy got his penis bit, right?
The toilet seat one.
Listen, since then, no lie, every single time I sit down the toilet, I look in there thorough. I'm in there. Like, like saying like,
Yeah.
I look in there good. I'm worried about it now. I'm worried about it. If it can happen to them, it can happen to me. You know what I'm saying? So
There's definitely
I'm worried, man.
Yeah.
'Cause
There's rattlesnakes here, but Florida, you got a lot more to worry about. There's a lot more
Exactly.
variety, a lot smaller snakes.
Well, also like in places out there where the weather's a little bit different, for them to be in the water would be rare. Like out here, there's a ton of snakes that are in the water. You know what I mean? So they just go down the wrong stream. I live near a lake. They just hop on in, and next thing you know, I got my dick bit off by a fucking snake.
Nightmare. We do. This is the time of year though in Colorado. It's like the great tarantula run, like it's mating season.
Fuck
Yeah, dude, we do have tarantulas, and they just like travel like vast distances across Colorado. It's pretty gnarly, bro.
Do you see them pretty regularly?
What?
Tarantulas.
Tarantulas? I've never seen one out here. I know they are out here. Like you got to be in like the desert parts of it, because you know the west side of the mountain is desert, but there's also some parts of South Colorado that's desert.
Yeah. And also funny, like people always like, well, tarantulas aren't poisonous. I don't know why people are so scared of them. Well, they still bite you, and they have humongous fangs. So like it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fuck that.
That's the same shit people say with snakes around here. It's like only like 1 out of every 100 are poisonous. I'm like, yeah, it still hurts like shit if they bite you with their teeth. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a
First of
snake,
all,
dude.
in Florida, it's a whole different ballgame because they got that
No.
crazy boa problem, and that shit would literally.
That's South
fucking
Florida though.
kill
That's
you.
like Everglades. That's
Man,
true.
I-
If it's under your house and shit.
I guarantee you, those shits are traveling north because it's a crazy problem.
Well, only our Florida listeners will like really understand this, but there is that famous video after Hurricane Matthew, where this guy's driving down the turnpike right near the Florida Mall, and on the side of the road, like he's filming it while he's on the turnpike. He's slowing down. There's like a 40-foot fucking boa just hauling ass in the grass right there next to the fucking turnpike. So like they are out here. It's just they're rare. They can't live. It gets too cold in the winter for them to survive. So. So one more thing I got. This is a little personal story here. So there's only three things I can think of that makes sense to me here. So I think that either one, when we did that conspiracy theory episode, the CIA is onto us and they're fucking with me mentally, right? That, like, they're gaslighting me, like they're sending people to like what's that called, like when they hire people to like follow you and do shit to you.
Like psyops.
No, there's like a word for it. It's like group something. Oh my god, I'll remember it. You know what I'm talking about, right? Where they just have people follow you in the gas station and shit, or like.
Yeah, remember that that Illuminati chick? She was talking about how like they would just fuck with her. She's like,
Yeah.
I'd go home and they'd be like
Gangstalking. Gangstalking. That's what it's called. It's called
no,
gangstalking.
never heard of that.
That's what it's called. Yeah, that's what they do. They hire like people that like want
Sounds
to
like
fuck
a
with
new
you.
avenue, a late night avenue.
That's what they do. They won't do anything physical to you, or they won't like do anything to you really, but they'll just follow you and then make you think things. And hey, regardless. So either that is happening. Two, we're having a complete and total mental break as a community here in 2020, which I think we've said is a very real possibility.
Oh yeah.
Or three, there's something in the fucking water in this Seminole County out here in Florida, and everyone's gonna be dead soon. It's one of those three. That's the only explanation, because this is what happened to me in Publix yesterday. You ready? So I walk into Publix. In Publix, if you don't know, if you're from up north, is like a grocery store.
It's the
chain
best
here in
grocery
Florida.
store.
It is. It really is. Consistently clean.
Yeah.
The food is good.
Lighting. Yeah.
Best quality produce you can get pretty much anywhere. It's just a little bit more expensive than some of the other places, but it's just good quality and good lighting. You're right. Very good lighting.
Not like these fucking truck stops. They got Safeways and fucking Kroger.
Yeah.
They fucking suck.
Oh, Kroger's are real bad. But yeah, so Publix too. If you ever visit Florida, get a pub sub. The Publix subs are very good. So anyway, so I'm going into Publix very quickly, and you know me, like even if I'm going to like the store or somewhere quick, I usually don't. I'm not dressed like a complete bum. I usually put a shirt on or something. You know what I mean? I'm presentable at all times. So at this current thing, I'm running in for one thing. I'm getting lunch meat for sandwiches, right? In and out, real quick, 5 minutes tops. And I go in, and when I leave my house, I'm like, fuck it. I don't really need to dress up or anything. I'm just gonna fucking throw on a tee and some basketball shorts and go, right? I don't even have fucking socks on. I have flip flops on, no socks. Slide up in there, looking real bummy. I got my mask on. You got to wear your mask at all times in these places. Wearing my mask, okay? I walk up to again, headphones in, so nobody fucks with me. I take my headphones like this. You got to look, right? This is all I do. I do this, right? So they're still in my ear, okay? But there's no audio coming through, right? So I can order the meat from the guy at the counter, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I need a pound of this and a pound of this sandwich cut meat or whatever. And he goes and he starts doing it. There's no one around. There's not a soul in sight, okay? You know, they have those little things where you take the ticket and when it's your turn and they call the number. Not even a situation here because there's no one around, okay? So I'm standing there and I have my headphones like this in my ears, not in, but on the sides, right? And all of a sudden, I hear a voice and I turn and it's this woman and her friend with masks on as well. And they're very angry and they say, so you're just going to cut me in line? You're just going to come up here and cut me in line? Really? Really? So my first thought is like, oh shit, did I cut somebody in line? So
yeah.
I'm like, damn. So I like turn and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, like I didn't realize you were in line. And then she like just stares at me. And I'm like, what is going on right now? So then I realized she's like joking. So then I'm like, oh, do I know? yeah. She was being like sarcastic. So then I'm like, do I know her? Like, I can't really tell because she's wearing a mask.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a mask, right? I'm like, does she think she knows me? Like, so we have this weird like thing. And then she goes, I'm just joking with you. And I was like, okay. And like I turned back around, right? And it was like real weird. And she's just standing behind me, dead silent.
Yeah.
And then the guy cutting the meat goes, ma'am, if you give me just a second when I'm done with him, I'll help you right out or whatever. And then she goes, oh, no, I don't need anything. Thank you. And she walks away. That was the entire interaction.
What?
So she walks away and I like watch her walk away. And I'm like, what? And then the guy cutting the meat goes, do you know her? I'm like, no, I don't know. He goes, that was weird. I was like, yeah, it was weird, man.
Yeah. It's always bad when you're in a retail store, like they have to address it. Like, what the fuck is that, dude?
That was his face. The face you just made was his face. He was like, what the fuck? Like, you know her? I'm like, no, man. So I don't know what's going on, dude. So then I get the meat and I'm still thinking, like, what was that? Like, what the fuck? So I'm like, clearly she must think she knew me. Like I looked like someone, but because I had the mask on. You know what I mean? She like missed, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm like, damn. But I'm like, wait a minute, I'm just like a fucking schmuck. Like, how'd she fucking, you know what I mean? Like, this doesn't make sense. So like, oh, that's Jim. He always dresses like an idiot. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, so I go to pay and I leave and I'm walking to my car. Okay. And I'm walking to my car. I have my cart. I drop the cart off because I just have the one bag. And when I'm walking up, I look and she's standing outside of her SUV, right, staring at me getting in my car.
What?
She had a white Chevy Blazer, and she was just standing there watching me like this, like watching me, like to see it. Maybe again though, she could have been like, "Is that fucking?" You know what I mean? Is that?
Yeah.
But she
Wait,
made it very obvious that she was watching me. So
Did she buy food?
I don't fucking know, dude. I just wanted to get out of there, you know. So
I had a good encounter at the gas station yesterday. Like I always pay with my phone, so like it has a
Yeah.
face ID. I don't like to use a password. You know, I pull the mask off to fucking pay, and this fucking lady like backs up against the cigarettes, dude. Like I just like, okay, bitch. Jesus Christ.
yeah, people are wild right now, man. Like they had this one thing going on where they had the people with the masks or whatever. Here in Florida, they had a little protest, and when they did they did the little protest or whatever, right? And the people outside of the place where they were protesting or whatever called the police because people were wearing masks outside of the fucking like an area where you didn't need to wear a mask. And it's like that's not the law, man. Like
Yeah.
the ordinance is to wear the mask. If you're outside, you don't have to wear the mask, but you can still wear the mask. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't make
So it's so crazy. That's the craziest shit about the mask is it's not a law.
yeah, it's not.
What is? And I'm perfectly comfortable like within businesses because that's their right. You know, it's
Yeah.
a private business. You know, they tell you got to wear fucking clown shoes, and then you got to wear clown shoes.
Yeah, or take your business elsewhere. Exactly.
Exactly. You can get the fuck out.
Oh man. Let's see. Anything? I got a bunch of other stuff, but two things that are too long for us to get into right now. What do you got? Got anything that you saw you want to talk about?
I don't got much. I mean, we'll talk about my football picks on fucking
Friday. Yeah, rough week
yeah,
for you.
made this mistake of talking shit and then
Yeah, that's why I was real quiet. I was just like, I'm not going to go up or down on this one because
yeah, we'll get into the intricacies of why I lost and my excuses. But
you know, we can talk about that Patriots game because you didn't get to see the end of it.
I didn't, and I still haven't seen the highlights of it.
Okay.
I just
So I was pretty impressed with to be honest with you.
Cam dropping 30 is well, I guess he dropped 24 because the pick, but
yeah, but still, like he made some passes when he had to, but his
threw for 397 or 399.
yeah. Well, they were down the whole game,
but I did call it. I was like,
Yeah.
yo, they're gonna come out slinging that shit.
They didn't though. They didn't early because they had the pick six, and then the entire first half they only had one scoring drive, and every other drive was a 3 and out.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of running the ball still. And that play that they used at the end of the game, it did work earlier on, but I don't know, man. To me, it was more like, all right, so this is the situation. You didn't get to see it. So it's 3rd and 4, right? There's like 1:43 left in the game. The Patriots have one timeout. Seahawks have the ball. They're up by 5. So if they run the ball here, right, they run the ball, they might get the first down, and the game's over. If they don't get the first down, though, the Patriots have to use their last timeout with like 1:30 left, and then they get the ball back, right?
Yeah.
Or you run it and you get 3, and it's 4th and 1, and then you go for the 4th and 1 to win the game. You know what I mean? Instead, he does Pete Carroll does a fucking basically a vert route downfield, and Russ throws an incomplete pass. So now the Patriots get to keep their timeout. It's 1:40 left, and they still have to punt. It's like it didn't make any sense. So I'm like, this guy's just trying to blow this fucking game. Has he not learned that in the Super Bowl he was supposed to fucking run the ball
at the end, bro?
Exactly, dude. Exactly. So it's just like he's going to lose this game because he's an idiot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and then they punt, and then the Patriots get the ball and they drive right down the field. But they were taking their time. Like they were like, we want to make sure there's no time left for Seattle, right? Which is smart. But they ended up getting down 1st and goal on the 1. Edelman dropped a touchdown that would have won the game, by the way. But somebody ends up making a catch. They're down at the 1-yard line, and the Patriots call their last time out. There's only 3 seconds left. So it's like you could have 1st and goal at the 1 with like 40 seconds left and then milk the clock. You know, teams just do this too early where when they're going down the field, they're just like, all right, let's make sure there's
So
no
they could have
time
had
left.
extra downs.
Of course they could have extra downs. They just the thing is the plays leading up, there was like 1:40 left. Like I said, the first pass was like a 30-yard pass to somebody, and Newton walked up to the line because they're like, no rush, let's milk some clock. You know what I mean? Let's make sure we get up there. And then they ended up, it was like one of those situations where the first down marker was at the 2 and they got to the 1. So it was first and goal at the 1. Actually, I think there was 9 seconds left. I think they ran a play, had to call timeout, and then they had 1 play left with 3 seconds left, and he got stuffed at the line. But it's like, yeah, you could have got 3 full downs there if you play the cards right. So it's like, and the other thing was the play calling. The last play of the game was a draw play to fucking Newton, and it was like everyone knew that was coming. Everybody knew that was coming. You couldn't have done a little.
Yeah, but why do you run I seen a lot. Like, why do you run a shotgun play? I don't get that.
Because they ran that play a couple times and it did work, but it also got stopped twice. The last time they used it was
also not condensing the defense down to 8 yards. You know,
that's the problem I had with it, because the series before, when the Patriots scored, right? They went for 2 and they ran that exact same play and Newton got stuffed. So it's like you're running the same play that just didn't work like literally a minute ago.
Why not just do the classic Brady, dude, right behind the center?
So how they scored that touchdown too, exactly. But how they scored that touchdown is they had that same set and they made it look like Newton was going to run, and it was a pass and the fullback was wide open.
Tebow.
Yeah, so it was like, well, no, he didn't do like the jump, but it was kind of that like run in fake return. So that play worked. You still have that in your bag of tricks. Like, it was just, to me, it was like, the play was fine. The play call was fine if it would have worked. But it was like, how about you make it so if it's not there, which it wasn't. Like, as soon as he snapped it, the play wasn't there. You could have bounced it outside, maybe a chance.
Yeah.
But it was like, why don't you have something where there's a backup plan? Like, he snaps it and sees there's nothing there. Then there was no one to throw to. Everyone was in on the line to fucking block. So, I don't know. It was a great game. The Patriots showed me that they should be legit. But we also have this happening now where people are like, see how much the Patriots are, see how much better they are without Brady. And it's like, let's slow down a little bit. It's been 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Let's not jump to fucking conclusions here. They look good. The Patriots do look good, because I think the Seahawks are the best team in the league. Russ was amazing. Their defense.
I don't know how you can say they're the best team in the league.
Did you not see Russell Wilson? Did you not see him last week?
I did.
Listen, he has 7 touchdowns. He has 7 touchdowns and 11 incompletions, dude, and 1 pick on the season right now. I mean, that's tough, dude. How do you beat that? And like I was texting it to you, like with the Seahawks, they don't really have like DK Metcalf is really good. Lockett is a good receiver, but they don't really have a ton of weapons. It's those two, and they have like a mediocre running back with Carson who just goes forward, and that's about it, man. Like,
I was watching that game,
not a great line.
Like, could you imagine if Brady got a hold of that dude Tyler Lockett? I mean, he is like, oh shit, my camera went out.
It's all right, keep going.
Yeah, yeah, Tyler Lockett. He's like an Edelman, but he can also do the deep ball.
Exactly.
You know?
Well, I mean, Edelman could do that when he was younger too. You know what I mean? He's a little bit slower now. He's been through some knee injuries and shoulder injuries and stuff, so he can't quite get there. But it's very similar. I agree. Lockett's a little bit faster, but he's good. Don't get me wrong. He's a very good wide receiver, and so is Metcalf. Metcalf's not like a fantastic route runner, but I mean, they're good receivers, but nothing like it's not like the Chiefs. You know what I mean? The Chiefs have weapons everywhere. The fucking Ravens have weapons everywhere. You know what I mean? So, like, the Ravens, I mean, I feel like, I don't know. There's also some rumors that Antonio Brown's going to sign with the Seahawks here after week 8 when he's allowed to come back. So that would be real interesting.
I mean, he could survive this because the world's so crazy right now. Nobody just gives a fuck what Antonio Brown's doing.
Speaking of that, did you see what he is doing? What happened to him a few weeks ago?
I don't know. Fucking growing CTE. I don't know.
No, he recorded a video of a porn star giving him a blowjob in his training facility and posted it online. Tiana Trump, I think her name is.
Yeah, who's training?
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's get one more thing going, and then we'll get out of here. I know you got to get to work.
Yeah, and my camera's all fucked up.
Yeah, it's been fucked up the whole time.
Yeah,
roll with it.
Yeah.
And there was one more thing I wanted to talk about. Oh, here we go. So everyone's, the coronavirus, we got this pandemic going, the economy's in the tank. But if you remember November 25th, 2019, like things were going pretty good. The economy was good. We had, not a lot of infighting. There wasn't all these protests. Things were November 25th, 19.
I had a great November 25th, 2019.
That's what I'm saying. So did I. So this is, I think this might be where things changed.
I've had over 40 pizzas in the last 30 days. Living currently in Mark Shapiro to be in jail. He has no pizza experience. He's never been in the pizza category. I would just say, stay tuned. The day of reckoning will come, The record will be straight.
Why not set the record straight now? I mean, what is it about the record that's not straight?
Stay tuned. I've had over.
I mean,
What is he talking about? Who wasn't in the pizza game?
the guy. All right, so the guy that took over for Papa John's, but
That was Papa John, right?
that was Papa John. He got fired for saying the N word on a business call.
Looks like he got fired for being a raging alcoholic because he looks
Yeah.
like
He's a big alcoholic. Yeah.
because he looks rough in that interview.
Do you remember when we lived in Kentucky, when we lived in Louisville? Like one of the things they said is like, "Oh yeah, you'll catch him at the football games hammered. He'll just be there at the football
There's
games."
that picture of him just fucking.
Yeah, just slopped
Tell you
over.
what, he doesn't sound anything like those fucking commercials.
No, because that alcohol taking a toll on him a little bit. But
Yeah.
that happened. I mean, ever since he did that interview, shit's gone downhill. So maybe he knew. Maybe Papa J knew, man. Like it's possible.
This fucking camera, I'm gonna fucking break it.
Yeah, you've been way behind the entire episode.
Yeah.
So I apologize to that, guys. We're working on some new tech that we're gonna roll out next episode too, with the audio and stuff to make everything a little bit smoother. Malcolm's gonna figure out what the fuck's going on with this camera, and
Yeah.
we'll go from there. But
Stay
did you watch the latest episode of The Vow?
Yeah, I did. I think.
So I've noticed that
Jog my memory. What was it about?
they're the New York Times article. They're gonna release the New York Times article. Did you get to that part?
No,
Okay.
I watched episode 4.
Okay, well, I don't even know what episode I watched last night, but I'm all the way up. I'm all the way caught up. But I just noticed like this past episode, I'm like, all right, this is getting a little fucking boring. They just dragged it out.
I do remember watching it because I was thinking these fucking rich white people, dude. It's just like, oh, did you see that? They were walking to that lady's house. She's like, yeah, my daughter's in this cult. She has a wall of like 1,000 crosses. It's like, who's in the cult, dude?
Well, also, the crazy thing too is that one girl that's that they're trying to save the daughter that's in the cult, right?
Yeah.
The mom is like, I'm going to the airport to pick up my mother because I need her for emotional support right now or whatever, and she goes to the airport and she picks her up, right? And when she picks her up, her mother's name comes across. It's Princess Claudia of Yugoslavia. So this chick is royalty. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
it's just so insane. And
Oh,
it's
you're
like-
back. You're back. You're finally back. Right to me. Perfect timing. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gone again. Oh,
Now
well.
that nobody's watching it, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of that, guys, we've had fantastic. Thank you so much for all the love and support, downloads, views. Really sorry about how bad the YouTube will be this week with Malcolm's camera, but again, we're working on it. Thank you again for following us, YouTube or Twitter, Instagram, email us at Podcast Game. We actually did get some emails. We just didn't have time to read them this week, and we'll read them on our next episode. Also, if you're listening to the audio only, please go to the YouTube. It's Scam Space Podcast, and check us out. I know we've been talking shit. If you're listening to audio only, we've been talking shit about the video the whole time. But we did show some clips if you want to look at those. And thank you for everybody that's been showing us love and helping us grow this podcast, because we are now at the point where we're getting hundreds of fucking downloads a day, and it's fantastic. We're just going to keep getting better, and we're going to keep putting out more content. So thank you, everybody, for that. Any last words, Malcolm, before we shoot on out of here?
No, I'm ready for the end.
That seems fair.
Did I send you that fucking bumper sticker that I seen in Yellowstone? Did I show that?
No. Uh-uh.
It's like it looks like a classic presidential one. It says like 2020 in the middle, but on top it says 2020, and it's like giant meteor just ended already.
It's got my vote.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
All right. Well, we'll be back on Friday for our next episode, and then also the Picks episode should be out either Friday or Saturday as well. So thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you then.
See ya.